Folklore, or as we like to call it, the Tri-F podcast, where we try not to mess the podcast up. Okay, and today this week, Charlie Kirk passed, and he was assassinated. There's really no other way to put it. So I'm just going to open it up, and you guys kind of lead with your thoughts. I have my thoughts, and I'm going to try to stay calm, but I'll let you guys speak first, and we'll go from there. So, Trevor, how about you kick us off, man?
Yeah, I was sitting at work. I just heard about it on YouTube and logged into Kelly. I don't remember her last name, but I saw she went live with it, and then everyone else kind of followed along. So I was kind of watching live, and it was very heartbreaking just to see that replay over and over again. And it's an evil thing. The evil ones of darkness coming after a father and a husband just because he spoke the truth. And I didn't like it. I cried.
I did too.
Me as well. Yep. Well, Mr. Buzz, what are your thoughts, sir?
Well, one thing I'd like to mention is that the demon media, as I call them, the leftist media, I think it was on CNN. Of course, what do? Every time the left commits violence, they try to cover it up. But that's not what it was. So here they were on there when it first happened saying, well, before everybody jumps to conclusions, we don't know if it was actually an assassination or if somebody was just firing off their gun in celebration and it was an accident. And I'm like,
yeah, that was irritating.
People look at yourselves in the mirror when you get up in the morning. How do you look at yourself in the mirror when you know you're lying to the whole world like that to cover up a cold-blooded murder? It just blows my mind how evil these journalists are. Not journalists, I call them journalists. They're
mercenaries. They're mercenaries.
Yeah,
they're walking billboards, and they read a teleprompter. And that
they're demon-infested evil ones is what they are.
Mm-hmm.
These people are so evil, it's unbelievable. And that's one thing that really, really bothered me was seeing that. I watched Joe Rogan's reaction to it, and it really shook him up. He had Charlie Sheen on.
Oh yeah, I saw that.
They found out about it, and the thing that people are really worried about now is a civil war. Right? This is gonna spark some violence of some kind. Something's going to happen, and I think that might be part of the reason it was done, was actually to stoke the flames of civil war. So
that's
I don't
what they want.
Oh, but Charlie was a good man. He went in those universities with all kinds of courage. It takes courage to go there, and even if they're not shooting you, they're throwing stuff at you. They're like they really. These guys, Michael Knowles, another one. You got to have serious courage to go in one of these demon-infested universities, and speak the word of God to a bunch of people who follow the devil. That's really what you're dealing with there. So, Charlie was one of the most courageous men ever, and it's one of the saddest, most senseless murders I've ever seen in my life. Just because he was speaking the word of God. That's, and now it's got a lot of other people really nervous. Megyn Kelly is really nervous about her safety. She was a good friend of Charlie's.
Mm-hmm.
She figures she might have a target on her back too.
Yeah. Cody, what do you think, man?
Oh, man. I saw the clip of it happen once, and I don't want to see it again. I think there's something to that. The more you watch it, the more it's going to stick in your head and mess with you. I always liked the guy. I liked what he had to say. I think it's a big ritual, but it got me thinking about something after it happened, because it's like, I heard the shooter was 33 years old. It's like, oh, Illuminati confirmed, you know. But it's like, why is it that way? It's always that way. There's always like a 33 and there.
He's 22.
Huh?
He's
22.
22.
Well, what did I hear then? They threw a 33 in there somewhere.
No, that's
and I was
probably
just
the
like,
meeting again.
yeah, I was just like, what is that? You know,
Fog
so
of
I
war.
kind of like whenever you say they did it, like the infamous they,
The evil
I've
ones.
stopped looking at it as people. It's legion. It's the
Yes.
demons inside people, and they make all these numbers and stuff happen. And it's like, but when you see it on its face, it's like, oh, it's the Illuminati. It's people doing, but it's the demons. And I don't know, it just kind of reinforced that to me.
Yeah.
So
Correct. You're totally correct.
Well, great. Well, I have been struggling all week with what I was going to say. My wife begged me not to go with my first speech because I didn't have...
I bet it was a good one.
It was not PC. So I think the best way to really explain how I feel about it is I'm going to give a very brief story. And it might be appropriate considering how much talking about drugs we've had on this program in the first part of this. So about 6 months to a year before I moved to Seattle briefly, I had to stop a home invasion. And that's probably the easiest way to describe what happened. Basically, I was sitting in my office reading, had the windows open because I was smoking. And this girl who was addicted, she breaks into the house, or she tries to break into the house. She starts fiddling with the screen door because she saw the window was open. So I get up, and long story short, I don't need to go into the whole thing, but I closed the windows, called the cops in front of her, and she left. There was a guy there because I'd seen the two earlier that evening, and she was talking to somebody, so I knew there was another person around the house too. And we also later started suspecting that they were casing the place. I bring all that up because when it was happening, this girl, she like smiles at me and tries to put on airs, like she's trying to, like she thinks she can seduce me into letting her into the house once she realizes she's caught. And she smiles and her teeth are rotted out of her head. And she doesn't even realize, she's gone. And that broke my heart because what kind of went through my mind, this is a kid. This was a kid, and she's one of them that the devil got. She doesn't even know she's gone. And I felt pity for her. Now, that being said, you do not let that person into your house.
Nope.
And what has happened in this country is that in the name of sympathy, we have let addicts, people that are lost to the devil, into the house. They're taking all your stuff, and we're going, please don't do that. Please don't do that. Please don't do that, because every freaking time one of these things happens, there's a bunch of clowns out there going, we got to be peaceful, we can't react, and there's this knee-jerk thing about pacifism. Well, they're not preaching peace. They're preaching apathy. They're preaching inaction against evil. If you look at what's happened for the last decade, stack up the amount of people who have died that have been on the right versus the people who have died that have been on the left. Compare those two lists of casualties. See if they're even close. They're not. It's on one side. It's always been on one side. For the last 10 years at any rate. And at some point, you've got to start demanding action and you got to start doing something. Now, I'm not saying go burn down a Walgreens, but you can't sit there and go be the bigger man all the time, because think about what's happened. Steve Bannon, jail. Owen Schroyer, jail. Peter Navarro, jail. Michael Flynn, jail. Jamie White, dead. That woman in the subway, dead. Charlie Kirk, dead. Trump, shot twice. I mean, Patrick Henry had this statement. How many atrocities are you going to endure before you admit you're at war already? How many people? How many people have to get hurt? How many people have to die? Now, I'm not saying violence, but...
What are you saying?
I'm saying Black Lives Matter needs to be declared to be a terrorist organization.
Everybody already knows that.
Well, it's not being done. I'm saying Antifa needs to be declared a terrorist organization. Alexander Soros, George Soros, jail. FBI, I don't know if you guys saw the press conference or not, but Kash Patel needs to be fired tomorrow, like yesterday. Now, the dad...
Oh, take your money.
Yeah. Well, the dad brings the kid in because I guess the kid confessed to the dad or something like that. And the FBI does this press conference and goes, "Good job, guys. We did it. Yay, Patrick. We saved the city." They didn't even do nothing. The dad brought him in. They found the rifle, maybe. So we need to start taking this stuff seriously. Every time one of these things happens, everybody goes, "Aw, shucks."
Well, what do you do? I mean, like, do you disagree with Jesus? Turn the other cheek?
You turn the
Yeah,
other
that's what
cheek.
That's what I was going to say. If you're following Jesus,
I would
you
argue
really-
this. If you turn the other cheek when it's you being struck, you are a Christian. You turn the other cheek when your neighbor's struck, you're a coward. You cannot.
we are allowed to defend ourselves. We are definitely allowed to defend ourselves. You
We
don't
have
have to let them kill you.
we have to protect our communities. Like, I'm not saying violence, but it's not enough to sit there and go, "This is bad." We have to demand specific solutions. There has to be an organized effort to say, "No, we want Black Lives Matter declared a terrorist organization. No, we want Antifa declared a terrorist organization," because they're receiving foreign money and burning down cities. What else do you call that?
Yeah.
And so
I mean, I feel like
help me.
Trump's doing a pretty decent job at what you're saying. It's just slow, man.
He implied he did imply
these
in the
demonic
speech.
These demonic policies have been in place for years.
Well, part of
And
the
like
problem,
these media things, they got their hooks everywhere. Like, it's going to take time to, I mean, you're talking about the millennial reign, man. We ain't there yet.
I'm not talking about the millennial reign, but honestly, this stuff would have been done already if Kash Patel and Pam Bondi weren't in that Department of Justice, or Pam Bondi wasn't in the Department of Justice and Kash Patel wasn't the head of the FBI. I was willing to give Kash Patel the benefit of the doubt until yesterday when I saw that press conference.
I'll just say one more thing, and then I do have to leave
Okay.
the podcast.
Absolutely.
Thank you for having me. Kash
Thank you.
Patel has a private jet, folks. He's a private jet. What does that tell you?
Enough, yeah.
Enough. Yeah.
I mean, somebody in his career should not have enough money to own a private jet.
Yeah.
Something very wrong with that. So thank you for
Yep.
having me, and
All right.
be happy to do it again if you ever want. So just let me know, and
Okay.
thanks again. It was a lot of fun.
Thank you.
Jeff,
being
it was
Absolutely.
it was great to meet you, man.
Yeah. Mr. Buzz,
as well.
thank you very much. Appreciate it.
You're welcome, sir. God bless you all.
God bless you as well.
See you.
Okay, so no, I am not saying we need to burn down a Walgreens, but so help me. And this is the other thing I wanted to say. So help me. If that dad blame legislature, because you know there is some sleazy politician going, "Guess what I did, guys? I decided to write the Charlie Kirk law." So help me, if we get the Patriot Act 2.0 called the Charlie Kirk bill, I'm going to lose my mind.
Wow.
So help me.
Yeah, I mean, hey, this was basically on the anniversary of 9/11, so I
Oh,
wouldn't be
yeah.
surprised.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Illuminati confirmed, Cody. Good
Right.
night. So, no, I mean, there have to be, it's not enough to sit there and go, "We got to be the bigger man." Again, I'm not saying burning down a Walgreens, but whatever we do, there needs to be a specific and focused plan. And there needs to be people screaming their heads off until that's done. Like people screaming
I
their
think
heads
public
off.
hangings would fix that.
Firing squads, public hangings, castrations. I'm a fan of whatever. Just there's got to be a demonstration. And if you want, because the thing is, the longer you go on without some kind of like disincentive, if you don't use the system to fix the problems, there is going to come a point where you can't use the system anymore because you've lost too much ground. We're
Yeah.
getting to that point. Like we had a run of the board, and we still can't get the FBI to do its job. I mean, these people, the dad turns the kid in, and the leadership of the FBI and the local cops are like, "Congratulations, guys, we did it." They brag on themselves for half an hour.
Oh yeah.
I'm like,
remember hearing
what
about
do you people actually do? Like, what is your job? What is the FBI's job exactly? I'm sure whatever it is, it can be handled by another department. These people need to be gone. The dad turns his son in, and they take credit for it. What a bunch of clowns.
Right. The FBI and the CIA are there to mitigate the will of the demonic realm. They're here to make it real. That's what like MK Ultra is. MK Ultra is all like getting you in the within the will of the demonic realm. Like that's the whole purpose of it. And that was a CIA project. So there you go.
I think that you can. This is my big issue with pacifism, and I want to say this. Charlie Kirk was right exactly where he needed to be, and he was doing exactly the right thing. He was talking to those college kids. He was, being peaceful, having debate, fostering debate. He was doing that with the right group, because those kids, for as much as they scream and yell and act ridiculous, even the leftists, they're still alive. Like, those are still people that feel. And even though they're messed up, even though they're wrong, they're manipulated. And I've been trying to think of a way to classify this, because to be perfectly blunt, I was going to say these people aren't people, and Jess said, don't say that, you idiot. So I had to come up with another way to classify all this, and I think I've found some kind of system to say this right. There's 3 types of evil in the world. There are the manipulated, there are the mercenaries, and then there are the malignant. They're not the malignant. I'm going to say malicious, but that's not right, because malicious, malevolent. That was the word I was looking for. Malevolent. So the manipulated, the mercenaries, and the malevolent. Now, these college kids and most people you meet in your life, they're manipulated. They're lied to. They believe lies. They react in an over-the-top manner. That's generally pretty popular with the young. And those kinds of people are the people you can talk to and debate with. You can, and that's fine. The mercenaries are the people that are like the media, the people that read the teleprompter. And this is what I wish I could explain to people that when I was, okay, let me just tell a story to explain this. When I had my failed stint in the military, didn't even make it past basic, I sucked. But when I was trying to get into the military, I was going in to be a psychological operations. And the way that was pitched to me was, you're going to write scripts for media, and you are going to start on-the-ground campaigns to overthrow countries. That was what they told me the job was. And so all this crap isn't a conspiracy theory. There is a department of the Army devoted to it. What you are seeing right now, there is an entire department of the Army that does this 24/7. Okay? Yep. So when those people that are calling you a Nazi are on, the media, MSNBC, CNN, whatever, you have to...
Fascist.
Or a fascist, whatever, yeah. They don't feel a thing, and they don't believe it. They're saying it because they're told.
Yeah. And I've been in those shoes before. Like, this is true. Like, I mean, I've been defensive before. It's where you operate at,
Yeah, I mean, they don't...
I mean, just being defensive, you're like, whenever you get defensive, you have to regurgitate something. You can't have... You know what I mean? Like,
yes.
If you're defensive, you have no original thought. You're stupid. So you have to regurgitate stuff. So you get party lines and rhetoric that you're fed.
You project what you know.
That's what the manipulated do. This class gets paid to call you a Nazi. They don't know why, and they don't care why. They are emotional voids.
I see what you're saying.
They're emotional.
I thought you were talking about shit posters.
No. That I would put them in the manipulated. The mercenary are these guys in the mainstream media. First of all, they call you a Nazi, and they're calling you a Nazi because what they mean in English is shoot this guy. Somebody shoot this guy. They know why they're saying that term. And I'm not saying we need to ban the term. I'm saying we need to say that play them saying that term over and over and over again, with the express understanding that every time they use that term, Most people don't think about it this way, but they specifically are thinking, shoot this guy. And when they say that term, knowing what it means, they feel nothing, they don't believe it, they're emotionally dead. They have been given marching orders for a social revolution by another class of people, the intelligence branches. And while they're saying this stuff, like, this is why, while they're saying this stuff, they don't feel anything. This is why we played that Salem radio video, Trevor, several live streams back. We showed them playing. There's a specific way that happens. The intelligence operations talk to the NGOs and the government agencies. The NGOs and the government agencies talk to the corporations, like Salem Radio. Salem Radio writes the script. The script gets sent to the teleprompter people. The teleprompter people read it to the news media. There's an entire chain where the narratives that this country are fed are started from the intelligence branches, who are probably being paid by a foreign actor, be it China, some bank, or something. It could be anybody. There's always like competing interests, but
who is the they that's orchestrating all of this, Gary?
I think it is the billionaires out of Europe. So this would be Soros, Schwab, the bankers out of Europe, and there's this kind of, I call them the British academia class. It's not exactly right. I know you're grinning at me because you want me to say Israel. I'm not going to say Israel.
No. I was talking about the demonic realm.
Oh, the demonic realm. I thought you were going another direction with that then. Never mind. I'm a jackwagon. Ignore me.
You're so anti-Semitic, Gary.
I know, right? I thought you were trying to lead me into a noose, but...
Gotcha.
Anyway...
No, I love the Jews.
I mean, I do too. I'm just saying that whole argument annoys me because the CIA and Mossad, MI6, they're all the same people. They all basically come from the OSS. It's the same crowd. And ultimately, it is the demonic, which gets to the third class of evil, the malevolent. And the only way I can describe these people is, and I kind of wish we got to talk to Mr. Buzz about this a little bit, but we didn't quite get there. I've met two people like this in my life. And I'm not saying this to go, woe is me, but I'm trying to establish a contrast. I'm fairly certain if I'd let that tweaker into my house, she and her boyfriend would have tried to kill me and my wife and my kid. And when I was mugged in Seattle, I'm pretty sure that guy was trying to kill me. Do I know that empirically? No, I can't read their minds. But when somebody's got a freaking metal thing in their hand and they've got it raised up like they're going to knock you in the back of the head, it's probably a good inference they meant to try to hurt you at the very least. But that being said, those guys were still alive. They were still human, and they are not the kind of evil I'm talking about here. So when I talk about these two people, I'm not saying it from an emotional standpoint like I was afraid of them. Because I was afraid of the other two people. That's not what I mean when I'm talking about these people. This is a tangible, physical evil that's almost like a stench. There are people that I don't know how, I don't know why, but somehow it's like possession, but they're not foaming at the mouth. But these people are like walking demons. Like, you look at them and there's nothing there. And the only way I can describe it is to quote a story by C.S. Lewis, who I imagine wrote this story because he met people like that during the war. But when he's describing the devil in Paralandra, he talks about this being that can like reason and is cold and is calculating. But the second people stop talking to him, he just shuts off like a light. And then he goes to the pond, and this is his depiction of Satan, and he starts just scooping up frogs out of the pond, ripping them apart, throwing them on the shore, and watching them try to jump. And while that's happening, nothing. He doesn't feel anything. He's not giggling. The devil in Lewis's mind was a rational kid with a magnifying glass that was burning ants because he could and didn't feel anything at all.
And we are the ants.
Yeah, we could call them sociopaths if you wanted, but I don't necessarily like that term because it kind of accepts a paradigm that I feel has been disproven. We talk about the left being a form of mental illness, but there's more to it than that. I don't think it's something that you're born with that you just can't help. I think these people it's a combination of nature and choices, or nurture and choices. But I've met two people.
You don't think it's just evil, like anger?
No, this is way beyond anger. It's like let me put it the way I look at it. You can't feel that stuff indefinitely. At some point, you're going to have to shut off like a light and numb out. You burn out. You can't be happy forever. You can't be angry forever. And I think there are people out there who are just so angry for so long that they just shut off.
Mm-hmm.
And they just die. And I think some kind of demon or something gets into them. Because I don't know what causes it, but I know you can feel it. It's like a physical thing you can feel, like the way you see a color. You feel it, and it's distinct enough that, it's distinct enough that you know it's something you've never encountered before. Again, I've met 2 people like it, and I'm not talking about people who tried to kill me. It's like a level beyond that.
Yeah.
And
it's like they could kill me and not even care.
Exactly.
Like, so I want to stay away from them.
Exactly. Well, one of them...
One
of the guys I'm talking about, without going into detail, he was a child molester. Mm-hmm. And you knew by looking at that guy, he'd go after a kid, and while he was attacking that kid, he would not feel a thing. He would not feel joy. He would not feel hate. He was not gratifying some impulse. He was just doing it because the only thing and this is the word Jess was wanting me to avoid using, but the only thing I could think to describe the guy was he was an animal. He was doing it because that's what he does. And it is impossible to admit that there are, it's difficult to admit that people like that actually exist in the world, but they do. Mm-hmm. They're terrifying when you meet them. It's a whole other level. That tweaker was desperate. She wanted to get high. She was scared she was out of money. Yes, it was bad to try to break into my house, but she had reasons. That guy that tried to knock me back in the head was probably out of money and wanted more crack. That's evil, but that's a reason. This thing that I met didn't have a reason. And you could tell because there was just no fear, nothing. Complete disconnect. And I would argue that the people pushing this are the people that are running stuff upstairs. Because the second guy I met, he was a billionaire. And it was during the show I was producing. And he started telling us after the Zoom meeting we had with him, he started talking about how he was in the middle of overthrowing a country just for a book. This is what he told us. Now, maybe the dude was lying. But I'll tell you this, while he was talking, the whole atmosphere in the room changed. And you saw the emotion, just like, if anything, he was bragging and trying to see if he could impress us, but that's it. It just went turned off. You know what I'm saying? Turned off like a light.
Mm-hmm.
And he was killing people, and what he was telling us was that he was killing people in some random tiny country in Africa just to war game it to see if he could. That's what he told us. And he wasn't, just nothing there. Not a person. You can't debate with something like that.
Nope.
I don't know if you could even debate with...
You got to use some pretty heavy words, I think. Because
Okay.
I think a lot of these people that you're talking about, they know the Bible.
Mm-hmm.
Well. And I don't know. I just feel like if you were friends with somebody for years and they turned their back on you and they were bad, saying something like they know not what they do to that person, or not, sorry, I'm distracted.
No, you're fine.
To that person, if you were to say, I never knew you when you knew him for years, when you use really heavy words like that with people, I think it'll make something click. But I don't know. I think there is exceptions. I don't think everyone is totally evacuated. I think there are words that will bring people back out of that. is what I'm saying.
Maybe. I wouldn't have the foggiest idea how myself.
Yeah.
But I guarantee you an academic debate isn't going to do it.
No.
Because they're not listening to logic. To have
Right.
an
Not if it's academic. It has to be
Right.
something that makes them feel something.
Exactly. And I wouldn't know.
Right.
I think you'd have to know the person on an intimate
I
level
think so, too.
to pull them out. But
Like Jesus knew everybody intimately.
right. But the context of what not Beck, but because Beck's been fine this week. I'm not mad at him specifically, but there have been people out there that peace, 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 peace. They don't mean peace. They mean apathy. They're just trying to quell reactionaries because they don't want the right to look bad. And I'm like, look, debate's fine. And listen, Charlie Kirk was doing exactly what he was supposed to be doing. Like he was talking to the right people and doing the right thing and fostering a culture of conversation and debate with exactly the people that needed to have that fostered with. And I'm talking about the college left. And if more people were like Charlie Kirk, we wouldn't be in this situation. I mean, I'm a little mad because there's some people out there that have been saying that Charlie Kirk should have had better security and he should have done this and he should have done that. But I think Jack Posobiec said it best. Charlie Kirk knew what he was doing, and he made that choice willingly.
Yeah.
And he wasn't stupid. He was a martyr. And he went in there knowing what could happen. And he was doing
If he had
exactly what
time, he
needed
probably
to do.
would have said, "Forgive them, Father. They don't know what they do."
Yeah. But my point in bringing up that home invasion story is you can forgive somebody, you can love somebody, you can have pity for somebody, because believe me, if I could help that woman, I would. I would give anything. If I knew the combination of words or the thing that I could do to help her, I would do it. I would give my right arm to save that person. Because, when I saw that woman smiling at me like she was attractive, but her teeth are rotted out of her head, I wasn't repulsed. It broke my heart. I knew what she was, and I knew this was a soul that the devil had won, at least so far. I still didn't let her in my house.
Right.
And we've got these people saying, in the name of sympathy, let the demons in your house.
Yep.
And that's what these pacifists are saying. They're not saying that, be the bigger man. They're using those words, but that's not what they mean.
Yeah.
And so we got to actually have specific actions and specific things that we demand, specific solutions. I want the FBI gone yesterday. I want Kash Patel fired. After that press conference Friday, I wasn't sure what was going on because of the Epstein stuff, but after that press conference yesterday, so help me, I want that man gone. And I'm not going to quit screaming about it until he's gone. What kind of idiot sits there and pats his own stupid institution on the back when they didn't even catch the guy? I want him gone.
I just want to say I called this.
You did. I was wrong, and you were right. You did. But I want the man gone. This is completely unacceptable.
Yeah. But I kind of feel like what you're hitting on something that Jesus talked about. Well, not that he talked about, but like if you look at his behavior towards the demonically oppressed, he was not nice to them.
Yeah.
He was. It's like, don't cast your pearls before swine.
Right.
If you give a meth head a bunch of, eloquent words, like you're not getting anywhere.
Yeah.
You have to tell them the truth. Like, hey, you're being a stupid ass.
Yeah.
Like, and I think the whole media conglomerate, they get us all to try to play nice and not tell each other the truth.
Yeah.
So I think you're hitting on something. I mean, we're using too much sympathy for demons.
Yeah.
And you can't. So it's like it's a mind virus. It's more than a policy thing. It's like, we have to change as people. We need to tell the truth, plain and simple.
Yeah. And we need to enforce the law. That's I guess I don't know exactly what I'm trying to say and how I articulate this. I just know I don't want the Congress or the legislature anywhere near this. I don't want a Charlie Kirk law. I don't
Right.
want a Charlie Kirk.
Yeah.
We don't need any more laws. We don't need
Nope.
any more laws. We need enforcement. We need justice. And
Yep.
what I'm saying is they burned down Ferguson and everybody said, "Aw shucks." We had the summer of love and everybody said, "Aw shucks." We had COVID and everybody said, "Aw shucks." We had a vaccine that killed millions and everybody said, "Aw shucks." We had Jamie White and everybody said, "Aw shucks." We had Michael Flynn go to jail and everybody said, "Aw shucks." Roger Stone went to jail. Everybody said, "Aw shucks." That guy that had his head blown off in the middle of Oregon and the entire crowd cheered and everybody said, "Aw shucks." And then that girl in the subway that was murdered by that guy, everybody said, "Aw shucks." How many people have to die and everybody goes, "Aw shucks," but there's no outcry for justice? You cannot have peace in that kind of society. So as much as they scream about peace, it doesn't matter. They're not going to let you. You have to have justice. You have to enforce the laws. And nobody's doing that. And
Yep.
I think it's just a matter of putting pressure on politicians and not falling for their freaking garbage when they tell you that they're passing some law in the name of sympathy. Because I guarantee you, it's just an excuse to manipulate you and to make you humiliate yourself. Congratulations. Just case in point, as a result of the Patriot Act, those stupid nude body scanners are still at airports. So if you're somebody who flies on a regular basis, congratulations, some TSA worker has been habitually masturbating to the nude body scan of your wife. Aw, shucks.
Ah, shucks.
Oh, shucks.
But we're supposed to have sympathy. We have to feel sorry for the dude masturbating to the nude body scan of my wife. We have to pity him.
Right.
It's got to stop. We don't need any more laws. We don't need any more legislation. We don't need any more crap and caveats. We need enforcement of the law. And if they can't do that, then there needs to be martial law declared by the president. This is not a legislative problem. This is an enforcement problem. So
I think it's
some
a heart
system
problem,
has
man.
to be fixed. Huh?
It's a heart problem.
Yeah, but it's apathy to
It's-
evil.
What I don't like. So the law will take a back seat to humans acting in a right way. If you don't govern yourself, someone will govern you, right?
Sure.
So
Sure.
it's like, what makes men be better men is other men being better men.
Yeah.
And so if you fix that within your local community, you will see a change, I believe.
Well, letting the meth head
Like,
into your
put
house is
yourself-
not fixing it.
No, I'm not
Yeah.
saying that at all.
I know. I just
But
there are
like,
people that are
I'm saying like
what-
if the shooter, that
Mhm.
guy, if he had other strong men around him that weren't,
Men of character.
masturbating 3 times a day and like being a man, like showing him a good example, he wouldn't ever do that.
See, this is the thing.
Like, it's a heart problem. It's us.
You're right, because what you're saying is how we got here, you know? But the thing that I'm trying to emphasize is while you're not saying anything wrong, but there's another component to this. It is the component is what is happening in our culture is a military op and you are under attack.
Mm-hmm.
It is a specific thing that is happening that has been coordinated and planned. That sniper, that kid that is going to be executed, hopefully, and punished for his crimes. That kid was built. He was built. He was engineered, which is why all the people on Twitter who were cheering for Charlie Kirk's death were teachers and people that are actually in charge of your kids.
Mm-hmm.
He was made. Yes, he made bad choices, and he may have been surrounded by weak men, And maybe there was or wasn't something more that could have been done in terms of his environment. But the fact of the matter is, the kid's still fighting an uphill battle no matter how good the environment is, because the teachers and the professors and the people that have been given authority in his life have all conspired, whether they know it or not. They're part of a military op that is meant to turn that kid into a radical. And it is organized, and I cannot understate how organized it is. In fact, case in point, I have a friend, somebody I consider a friend, in Seattle. And what he does to fight Antifa is he goes around and he scrapes off those little bumper stickers that they stick on buildings and they stick on poles and everything else. Because the Antifa people, the terrorists, the communists, will communicate using those bumper stickers. They'll talk to each other. They'll say, hey, call this number to be here or go there. And they'll disguise it as rallies and all the rest of it. But they figured out that they communicate through these stickers. And so he goes around and scrapes them off with like an ice scraper. We called him jokingly Batman. Because it was bold, and he's been shouted down or shouted at by Antifa people because he was doing that. Like, it's not safe to do that because they know what he's doing.
Yeah.
And the thing is I was taught that I would be doing something like that before I ever tried to join the Army. I mean, I didn't think about stickers. I was thinking flyers when it was explained to me. But the concept is you organize this ground game to create activists that are going to be soldiers. This is a military op. And the death of that girl on the subway, the death of Jamie White, and the death of Charlie Kirk, all that stuff is connected. It's not just random crime. It's an op. Those mentally ill people are released with the express purpose of doing what they did. That guy that killed the girl on the subway, arrested 14 times.
Yeah.
You know who else was arrested multiple times and committed a heinous act finally? Charles Manson. And you know who Charles Manson was connected to? CIA.
Wait, they were both arrested 14 times?
I don't know if Charles Manson was arrested 14 times. He was arrested multiple times. Multiple arrests, no reason to let the guy go. The guy gets let go, and then it finally does something completely over the top that gets him in jail for good.
Yeah.
That's CIA. And they've done that for forever. This is an op, and people are under attack. It's not a particularly hard op to beat because all it requires is enforcement of the law, but you have to find a way to enforce the law. And the question is, can we still enforce the law in this country? Because I guarantee you that clown show at the FBI ain't going to do it.
Yeah.
I think people need to
So
be
it
on the
has to be
phone.
the people?
Well, I think, yes, in a certain way. The people have to get on the phone with Trump and be like, fire Kash Patel now. And I so help me, when that idiot Congress gets out there with their Charlie Kirk bill, everybody needs to be on the phone with their congressman going, no, absolutely not. We don't need more laws. We need enforcement.
Yeah.
And there just needs to be a degree of focus. Yes, it needs to be the people, and yes, people need to not be violent, but there's got to be more focus in how to solve and stop this problem than there has been so far.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Well, we don't
I
need
mean,
more gun control either.
Yeah,
I've heard a lot of Second Amendment stories, like, people pulling guns on people like that. The problem is colleges don't allow guns. I mean, plain and simple. If they would, this wouldn't happen.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, I also think any government NGO that's taken foreign money needs to be shut down yesterday. Because, what we saw with USAID is a perfect example of this. The intelligence agencies funnel this money down. Some of it's theirs, some of it, like it's literally Soros giving them money and then them giving money back to Soros. It's like a freaking loop. Any system.
It's like that billionaire you were talking about that was, causing disruption in Africa, like he's going to get all that back, obviously.
Yeah.
With interest.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, he was going to make a killing, I'm sure.
Yeah.
But how is he funneling that money? They do it. It's a common thing to do. It's through the NGOs. They funnel that money to the government, and the government funnels that money back to them through NGOs.
Yeah.
It's got to stop. Anybody doing that's got to get shut down. And there needs to be more focus. And yeah, it's getting better. And look, they wouldn't have killed Charlie Kirk if they weren't losing. They did it because they're losing. And I just wish people need to understand that it's good and right to be mad for somebody else and to be mad that somebody else is suffering. I am livid because maybe this is selfish, maybe it isn't, but, I'm 5 years older than Charlie Kirk. I have a young family, too. I think we all have young families. And the idea that girl is not going to remember her dad pisses me off more than I can freaking speak. And I think it is good and righteous.
Say that again, I missed it.
Charlie Kirk's daughter's going to have very little memory of him.
Oh, yeah.
That makes me I'm very angry about that.
Luckily, it's well documented, so she can go back and listen to his opinion on things, and she can garner some, fatherly direction from that.
Yeah, and that's good, but I think it is good to be angry about that and to be angry on that family's behalf. That enrages me, and I feel like I should be enraged. Because how else are you supposed to be motivated? How else are you supposed to be motivated to change stuff? If we just kind of go,
what's your plan of action?
I just said
What does anger tell you to do?
I just said it. Go talk to Trump. Tell him to fire these people at the FBI, declare BLM a terrorist organization, declare Antifa a terrorist organization, declare any NGO that's taking foreign money, shut any NGO that's taking foreign money down, arrest Alexander Soros, tell the Congress to shut up whenever they start trying to push a Charlie Kirk law. All this could be done with phone calls. All this could be done with phone calls to politicians. But it's going to take focus. Yeah.
Word.
So I'm mad. And I want to stay mad. Not because I want to be bitter, and not because I'm mad at the sniper, but something's got to be done. The purpose of anger is not to get bitter at people, because that's the point of understanding that evil is external in the world. Everybody is manipulated and entrapped, and they make bad choices. But at the end of the day, the devil is the enemy. And so the purpose of the anger is to fix problems, not to get bitter at people. But you do still have to get mad. So
I don't feel like I need to be mad.
Maybe you're a better man than I am. But I feel like anger has a purpose. And I would like to use it to actually get something done instead of, shrugging whenever the TSA worker masturbates to my wife. It's a joke, but it's a true story that actually happens. And when there were TSA workers caught, I don't think any of them went to jail.
No, they just got a slap on the wrist.
And everybody went, aw, shucks.
You should write a book called Aw Shucks.
I just don't know what else to call it.
It's a mess.
It's a mess. But you don't just get to this kind of place. It's the point of bringing all that stuff up is that there's a progression that led us here. You don't just wake up in the 60s. It's years of apathy that leads to assassinations, that leads to people being emboldened to make these kinds of bad decisions. And if that apathy, if this aw shucks continues, they're going to start going after the grid. They're going to start doing crap that makes people en masse not be able to eat. They've already been practicing. Unless you want to believe that all those chicken farms and cow farms and power plants and infrastructure that got bombed during the Obama administration, that was all an accident. Weird accident. How all those facilities got destroyed during the Biden administration and then it just magically stopped. Weird pile of coincidences.
Oh shucks.
Oh shucks.
Still a
Um,
conspiracy, man.
But they've
got-
been practicing. I'm sorry. Go on, Cody. I'm sorry.
you said evil is external. You don't believe evil is within you?
I think we can choose evil, but I think there are demons. I think there is a
No, I
Satan.
mean, is it in you?
What do you mean? Like, when I say evil is within me, I mean the capacity to do evil. That is, to do these bad things.
It's a spirit. Evil's a spirit. It's legion.
I don't know if I
It's,
agree with that. I think there are demons that are evil. Like you, well, you've seen these demons. You know that they're like basically hate. That's what they are. Like, it's literally like if hatred could be given a mind. Like, these things don't have a particular reason to hate. They don't have a particular reason to do bad things. The devil and Paralandra didn't have a particular reason to rip the frogs apart. It's just what they do. They're like elemental. And
There
that's
is a
not
reason,
that's
though.
not humans. That's not human. Humans
They're
make
trying-
bad choices, but they make bad choices because they have the propensity, they have free will. They have the propensity to choose the external good or the external evil. That's not the same thing. And yes, we get tainted by that evil when we choose it, meaning it makes us more likely to do evil the next time. But that's not the same thing as saying you have a little demon in you or some kind of spiritual thing that's in you that prompts you to do evil. No, you're a sentient being with free will that's choosing between two external options. So if you mean by we're all a little bit evil, you mean like we have the ability to choose evil and to be evil, then yes, I would agree. If you're saying there's some kind of like little demon in the heart of every man, like a contagion, I don't agree with that. So it's whatever you mean by when you say every human has the propensity to be evil.
Not a little demon in your heart. I mean, like it's a spirit. It's just like the Holy Ghost. I mean, it's the opposite of that. Like when you listen to it, when you get angry, it allows it to come through you.
Well, I think we're describing the same thing in different ways again. Demons do what you're describing. You know, like they tempt people with those thoughts and those impulses to do bad things. People can choose to listen to them, or they can choose to listen to the Holy Spirit. So maybe we're describing, it sounds like to me, we're describing the same thing in different ways.
Sounds like the same thing, it's just different aspects. Like
That's it.
everyone's got the demon on their shoulder and the Holy Spirit on their shoulder. Both are whispering, "You do this, do this."
I mean, am I getting
Depends
something
on
wrong,
which
Cody?
one you choose to.
No, it's just like I feel like I understand external evil because of the evil that's within me. So I can empathize it.
Okay,
Like
so you're
get
saying
it. So like
you can put yourself in evil's shoes, and you couldn't do that unless you were a little bit evil yourself.
yeah, the child molester that you talked about, to me it's like he's chasing the dragon. It's like a drug. He's thrill seeking. He's trying to feel. But he's burnt out, right?
Mhm.
Because molesting children is awful, and you shouldn't ever fucking do that. And if you do that, you should not exist.
Hey,
So
bad intro.
but it's like I don't know. I lost my train of thought.
No, you're okay, man. Speaking of
Chasing the dragon. That's what I was going to hit on. It's like
the dragon, man.
yeah, it's like a drug. It's like you're trying to feel. Demons can't feel, and they want to feel.
They're jealous.
And so they make us do bad stuff to try to feel. Yeah.
I don't know if I agree with that. I agree with like I think the first part of what you said, but I don't think I agree with the second part. Before we go on with that, though, hold that thought. Bad intro's
It's already
back.
gone, bro.
I'm sorry?
Said it's already gone, bro.
Oh, sorry. Bad intro's back. He says, I feel like you finally got something right, wearing something comfortable for once. LOL. Well,
He
thank
likes
you.
picking on you.
He does. That's okay. That's okay.
The what?
Well, I'm not wearing my blazer or my vest, and I don't have my hair slicked back. I'm a little disheveled this evening, so I look comfortable. So.
Word. What
It's
up,
good
bad
to see-
intro?
Good to see you, man. No, I just I want people to understand that there is malignant evil in the world, and we are fighting something, and we need to actually like fight. You can't just let metaphorically, non-violently. Pick your qualifier. We need to resist, and we need to resist with a specific plan. And I don't want to hear about being the bigger man and being peaceful anymore. I want action steps, like telling Mike Johnson no when he decides to pass the Charlie Kirk law. Because these people
I don't even know who Mike
manipulative.
Johnson is.
Is the head of the Senate or Congress, House of Representatives. Kill me. House of Representatives. All right. Bad Intro says, doing all right. Let's see. Hang on a minute. Bad Intro says, I have no idea when you guys typically go live. We moved it to 8:30 because I can never be on time. And he also says, doing all right, just fighting demons these days. And Trevor says, we are going live at 8:30. So.
Probably didn't need to read that one.
No. I don't know, man. We've already talked about it. That hit me hard, and I had no idea how in the world to address it on here, but I think I have. Charlie Kirk's.
What? The Charlie Kirk? Okay.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, I mean, it's a mess, dude. It's a spiritual battle. Be a bigger man, That's all you can do.
Be a bigger man with a plan, though. Don't just talk about how.
Yeah, but I mean,
peaceful
unless
you are.
you're in government, I think you should run for Senate.
You think I should run for Senate, or people generally should run for Senate?
No, you should.
I have no money.
I think you do a good idea.
I have no money.
I mean, you care about this, right?
I do care about this. I'm working on being a millionaire. I ain't there yet. But, yeah, it takes like $2 or $3 million to run a campaign, from what I heard. So
Got to start somewhere, man. I mean,
Yeah.
At this point, yes. But if it were to get bad enough that people were like, okay, these people that are campaigning aren't doing any good, and they would like move down the ladder to where,
Mm-hmm.
I think that would eventually happen.
Well, hopefully, but
It feels like the Overton window is shifting.
I hope so.
What's the Overton window?
The mass populace's perspective on the world.
Like what's too far?
Oh.
Like what people will accept. It's like another way of
Yeah.
saying frog in the kettle. So
Yeah. The frogs are getting a little irritated.
frogs are
About to jump
jumping
out.
out. Yeah.
I'm not a frog, though. I'm a turtle.
Yeah.
Turtle, turtle.
So I don't know. I want something done. And I don't want to hear about being the bigger man anymore. Because do I believe that in principle? Yes. Do I believe that's what these commentators mean when they're saying the term? No. So I think
It's an easy cop-out just to say it.
Yeah, and I think they mean apathy specifically. I don't think they mean actually being peaceful. So that's part of the problem, because if you're really serious about being peaceful and doing this nonviolently, then you would have a peaceful plan. Like when the founders were having this argument, what were they doing? What was the thing that they did to stay peaceful? They kept petitioning the king, which was a waste of time, but it was a specific action step. And it was something. Being lofty and above it all and just being the bigger man in some generic sense of how to plan doesn't do any good.
Yeah.
So
You are right in saying that.
Bad intro says, never put a frog in a kettle. The only thing you can do is pray. When can speak out, but words do you have that will change the devil's mind? But what words do you have?
what words do you have to change the devil's mind? Well, we were actually talking about that earlier tonight. We're talking about 3 kinds of evil. I think's manifesting in society. I think you've got the manipulated, the mercenary, and the malevolent. And I think you can debate and you can talk to the manipulated, not all of them, but most of them, like these college kids. Generally most people you meet. But there's a class of people that are just calling you a Nazi, and when they say the word, they mean somebody shoot this guy. And they don't even feel anything when they say it. Even if they understand that's what they're saying, they're just saying it because they're paid. You can't debate with somebody who's that apathetic, and I don't think you can debate with somebody who's truly malevolent. So, yes, we need to have peaceful conversations with the people around us because 99.9% of people aren't what I'm describing when I say mercenary and malevolent. But there is a class of people that I think are in charge that you can't debate with, and you have to do like justice and actual policies.
When you say class of people, I instantly think of C.S. Lewis's description of how demons have classifications.
I think that's probably apt.
So,
you're right to make that. Jess was begging me not to say stuff like that because she's worried about, the same thing.
Well, it's not the people. It's a class of demon that inhabits that person. I mean, it's like it's how much they've let in. They started with what was his name? Worm tape.
Tongue?
Worm tongue?
No, not worm tongue.
Wormwood.
Oh no, that's Lord of the Rings.
Wormwood.
Yeah.
They start with the wormwood demon, and then they bump up to the old screw tape.
Yeah. There's like a ranking system to these things.
Yeah.
No, I agree. It's just you can't debate everything, and I'm not saying we need violence. I'm saying we need a specific, direct plan. I don't want to hear about being the bigger man and loving thy neighbor in some broad 3,000-foot sense. I want a plan.
Yeah, no, because it's the opposite of that. I mean, like we've gotten here because we stopped doing public hangings 150 years ago, right? If we still did that,
actually, yeah,
it's like the sympathy thing. Oh, we can't. It hurts when you die, so we have to make it not hurt.
We need
and all
more
that shit.
Yeah, we need
Like
deterrence. Yes.
Yeah, I mean, we need to follow the law that was already there, that we added sympathy into.
Yeah, and that's what makes me mad, Cody. That's such a great point because we could fix this without changing or adding a single solitary law. You are 100% right. So that's what
it's
really
this sympathetic bullshit.
Mm-hmm.
You have to tell people the truth, and you have to show the truth. You can't hide. I don't know. Bring back the electric chair.
Well, that just gives you the scope of how bad it is. Everything I said, declaring these guys terrorist organizations, taking out the people that are accepting foreign money, there's already laws on the books for all of that.
Yep.
It's just not being enforced. There is nothing I've said that would require a single new syllable to be added to the law. Right. They're just not doing it. The social contract is breaking apart.
So have they loopholed the law, or they're just not enforcing the law?
At this point, they're just flat out not enforcing the law. Like a judge is required to arrest somebody when they I was taught the 3 strikes rule growing up. If you're arrested 3 times for violent crimes, you go to jail for a long time. That dude that killed the girl on the light rail, 14 times. He should have been spending a decade in jail a long time ago.
String him up.
Yeah, and so it's people not enforcing the law. When I was in Seattle, I'll go ahead and tell this story. I think this was the same guy that mugged me or tried to mug me. So that dude would sit outside of my friend's house every night with a butcher knife.
Yeah.
With a butcher knife. There would be people walking their dogs and freaking college women jogging up and down the sidewalk. There's a dude with a rusty butcher knife he stole from some kitchen cleaning his toenails on the sidewalk. There used to be vagrancy laws, if nothing else. And this dude would sit there because he was mentally ill. He would argue with his demon in the middle of the street. You know? Yep. I mean, and I called the cops multiple times on this dude. Because I was just waiting for him to stab one of those college kids. Cops never came. You need to enforce the laws that are already on the books. You don't need to do anything new. And there needs to be some pressure put on our law enforcement and politicians to just enforce what's already there. But they're going to sit there and go, aw, shucks, and then give us the Charlie Kirk
traffic tickets? Okay.
Yeah. Oh, you mean more traffic tickets? You want more traffic tickets? Stop the guy with the butcher knife. Oh, parking meters. Nah. You said parking meters, right?
He doesn't have any money.
Yeah, well, he doesn't have any money. What are you, insane? Oh, gosh. Bad Intro says, that was sort of what I wrote, LOL. And then, not sympathetic, it's empathetic. Empathy leads to enabling. I'm going to take a different take on that, Bad Intro. I think empathy is what enables you to be angry for people like Charlie Kirk. Empathy is not the problem. It's who are you empathetic for? Are you going to be empathetic for the victim that suffers, or are you going to be empathetic for the criminal? These liberals are empathetic for the criminal. They sit there and go, oh, well, how did Mr. Schizophrenic Butcher Knife Man get here? And they don't take 2 seconds to ask about the lady who was stabbed. It's not that empathy is the problem. It's that you're empathetic for the wrong things. And when I was empathetic with that girl that was the meth head at my house, I was empathetic from the place that I knew that God saw her as a person that she could have been. And I knew that God was seeing that 2-year-old girl that had no idea she was going to end up like a meth head with her teeth rotted out of her head. And that broke my heart because at one point in time, that was a toddler. But you still don't let the woman in your house because toddler or not, you let her in, then her boyfriend's going to break in and kill your wife and kid. And empathy won't help you. So do you have more empathy for your own wife and child, or do you have empathy for the tweaker who's lost all her teeth? So empathy's not the problem. It's people sympathizing with evil or empathizing with evil.
Well, I want to clear this up. So I think sympathy makes you feel better. Empathy makes you feel worse.
I'm not sure. We could maybe look up the definition. I know that people have been using empathy and enabling a lot lately. So let's see.
I had this conversation the other day. I was trying to think of a good way to put it. I think sympathy makes you feel better about yourself. Empathy makes you feel worse about yourself because you're understanding why the other person is that way.
This is what the AI says. Maybe I can pull it up here. Let's see. Sorry, my stupid...
Bad Intro says, empathy is the ability to understand, share, and respond to the feelings and experiences of another person by seeing things from their perspective. Therefore, telling someone they are something they really aren't out of empathy for their situation.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's good. This is what the AI said. Sympathy is feeling sorry for someone's misfortune from your own perspective, recognizing their suffering but not necessarily feeling it with them. Empathy is the ability to understand and share the feelings of another person, putting yourself in their shoes to truly feel their emotions and experience their situation from their point of view. So, I don't know if that clears anything up for anybody.
It just sounds to me like they're the same thing.
Well, yeah, maybe.
To me, sympathy is bullshit. Empathy is real.
I think...
Maybe I'm wrong.
No, I don't think you're... There's a right way and a wrong way to do both. And I think empathy is... You need empathy to feel indignation, I think. But sympathy is just... yeah, I don't know. I shouldn't speak on it because I'm not exactly sure what I think the distinctions are. I do know that if I didn't feel empathy, I wouldn't be as angry as I am. And I feel like it's right and good for me to be angry on somebody else's behalf. I'm not angry for anything for anything that's happened to me. This isn't about something I've went through, but just the idea that another family suffers, that's what prompts you to go, this has to change. You can't allow this suffering in the world. It's wrong that Charlie Kirk's wife is having to go through what she went through. That's wrong. That's an injustice, and that should make you mad. I think you need empathy to get to that genuine place of like actual righteous indignation. But the problem is when people empathize of evil, then it's just, okay, well, everything is, you're a victim of circumstance, and if we tweak this social rule, or we say this thing here, or we just, if we just adjust the parameters, because there's no inherent sense of justice. There's no should when you're empathizing with evil. There has to be a should. Like, what Charlie Kirk's wife is going through should not be. Like, there has to be, like, a sense of the way the world needs to be versus the way the world is. And there has to be, like, genuine suffering with other people when they're in pain. Am I making any sense?
You're making sense, but I don't know. I haven't felt... Sorry.
It's all right.
I don't think I've felt a single emotion since all this happened. And is that wrong of me?
I don't know. I mean, I think it's one of those things where people have different temperaments, and the Holy Spirit will lead people with their own conscience. There's some people, for example, that they have not watched the video and refuse to watch the video. I've watched the video multiple times because I want to be mad, because I feel like it is justice and good and right for somebody to be mad on Charlie Kirk's behalf. And I want to be filled with rage when I see his wife in tears. I want to be upset because somebody should be upset for them. Is that better or worse? I don't know. Maybe it's a temperament thing. But I feel like it would be unjust for me to turn off that phone when Charlie Kirk's family can't turn off their situation.
But how are your feelings helping Charlie Kirk's family unless they're watching this podcast?
Because if I hadn't felt that, well, I'm not expecting them to watch this podcast. I do hope that some people watch this, and I hope that when the freaking legislature goes, hey, guys, we're going to pass the Charlie Kirk bill, the people that did watch this podcast will call their congressman and go, no, you're not. We don't need more laws. We need enforcement. Like, I'm trying to say what I think should be done, so if people agree with me on this podcast, they'll have a direction to go. There'll be an action step. I don't know if it'll fix it, but it's better than just being a better person in some vague academic sense.
Mm-hmm.
So, Bad Intro has some things that he said.
Okay.
Being mad. Sorry, Trevor. Go on. I apologize.
Being mad does nothing but cause your body to stress itself. It is unhealthy. If you feel a righteous anger, then tell God your heart.
Mad, not made. Sorry. I think.
Yeah, I mean, it just releases cortisol into your body and drops your testosterone.
Do you think Charlie's wife doesn't have cortisol in her body at the moment? Why should I not?
Probably.
Why should I avoid that when she can't?
Because it's bad for you?
Maybe I should suffer and pay. Maybe I should be in pain with her, and maybe I should take the physical consequences, what little equivalent I can. This freaking country doesn't understand the stakes of what's going on. And that doesn't understand that if this continues, there will be 1 million Charlie Kirks and 1 million widows. And if you don't understand that sooner, you will understand it later. So yeah, a little cortisol in the blood now might save somebody from starving later.
Maybe.
At least that's my goal. That's my intention. I don't want this to happen again. And my way of thinking, if you're mad and you keep yourself riled up about it, Maybe it'll prompt you to actually call when the time comes and they come up with the Charlie Kirk law.
Yeah. So your temperament would affect your action.
Yeah, I'm hoping it will motivate me to do something when the time comes.
That intro says, I think a lot of us do understand. If you haven't seen the devil this week, it's because you're on his team.
I think that's a good way to put it. Yeah.
It's a very good point.
Yeah.
I don't know. We see in my personal life, whenever I feel something about something,
Mm-hmm.
the more I talk about it, the less action I take.
Mm.
So, like, you know, like if you say something, it's like almost guaranteed you're not going to do it. Like, I'm going to, you know, make a rocking chair next year. You know, you're not going to because you're saying it. Right. So
I understand what
it's
you're
like,
getting at, yeah.
yeah, just do the thing. Like whenever you feel all that emotion and you talk about it and yada yada yada, like you're getting out that stress that thing caused in you. Like you're expressing it, so you're getting it out, and which defeats the later action that you would have taken.
Talk yourself out of it, basically.
I think that's another one of those
Yeah,
temperament things.
you blow your load. You blow your load on your being stressed out and talking about it, and by the time it's time to actually do something about it, do the thing, you just have no motivation left.
I think there's some validity to what you're saying. I think that's a temperament thing, though. I think that some people say that stuff out loud so they'll feel pressure because they don't want to be made a liar to actually do actions later. Like if I sit there and say I'm going to write a book and then I don't, I'm a liar, and everybody's going to kind of go, that's the guy that said he was going to write a book and didn't, and you don't want that. So if you state your intentions publicly and make them known, that puts pressure on you to actually do something in the future. So I kind of feel like talking about it is important in that respect.
Maybe.
So, but again, maybe it's just different things work with different people when it comes to what's actually going to prompt action. So, but anyway.
Word.
Yeah. Well, I'm done.
That's what she said.
bad
He's
interested.
he's actually writing several books.
Yeah, I
I'm
actually am
done.
writing. I'm actually writing several books. I've got you were here when I was talking about the Darwin one. Yeah. In January, well, I'm not going to talk about it on this podcast, but next one when this isn't hanging over everything, I'll talk about what's coming up. But anyway.
Yeah.
It's up to you guys, but I think I've said everything I need to say, and I'm just going to say this. If you haven't watched Charlie Kirk's wife's speech, you need to go do that. You need to find Charlie Kirk's wife's speech, and you need to watch it, because that was one of the best speeches I've heard. I've been following politics since the bombing of the USS Cole. That was one of the most amazing things I've heard in my life, and I think everybody here ought to watch her speech that she gave. I believe it was last night. So you need to, find Charlie Kirk's wife's, what's her name? I'm sorry, hang on. If I can find it quickly.
Charlene.
Uh-huh.
Just kidding. Clearly.
Erica
That's it.
Kirk, yeah. You need to watch Erica Kirk's speech. It's one of the best speeches I've ever heard in my life. And hang on a minute. I'm trying to do my fade in, but my cursor's not cooperating. Yeah.
Fade it.
I was gonna play it here, but I don't. I kind of feel like that would be wrong somehow, so I'm not going to. I would just recommend that you watch it for yourselves in your own time, because it was very powerful. And that's all I have, guys. You guys got any final thoughts?
No, sir.
What about you, Trevor?
May you rest in peace.
May Charlie Kirk rest in peace. Yep. Bad intro. Thank you very, very much for joining us, man. Really appreciate it. And Mr. Buzz, if you're still watching, thank you for allowing us to stumble through our attempt to be interviewers. We appreciate it.
Indeed.
You did
He was
a wonderful job, and we really enjoyed that talk. Sorry, Cody.
You're a
Go
cool
on.
guy.
Yeah.
No, you're good.
Yeah. All right, well, guys, if we're all done, and we're all done, right? Anybody got anything to say?
Nope.
Okay. All right, with all that said, guys, thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you next time. We hope you enjoyed this episode of Faith, Fiction, and Folklore. If you did, we would love it if you would subscribe to us on YouTube or follow us on Rumble. We can also be found on X, Instagram, and Facebook. And we are available on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music, and iHeartRadio. Thank you again very much for listening, and we'll see you next time.